What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 32 of the Let's Talk Nerdy podcast. On this episode, we are talking First Descendant, Last Sentinel, Jack Holmes, Master of Puppets, Lost Records, Bloom, and Rage.
All right, partner. You know what time it is. It's time to keep on rolling, baby.
Rolling.
If I'm not back in 5 minutes, just wait longer.
You are now tuned in to the Let's Talk Nerdy podcast.
I love it when you talk nerdy to me.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, dude.
Is that Kid Rock?
No, some biscuit.
Oh, whatever. I don't know the difference.
Red hat? You did the red hat?
Yeah,
I did the
don't
red
know.
hat for you?
Yeah. I don't know
No.
Limp Bizkit very well, obviously.
Don't.
But I had the
don't
song
know
right,
Limp
though, right?
Bizkit.
Rolling.
Yeah, it's the rolling. Yeah.
Okay, I got that part right, but not the artist. Okay, all right. Are you going to give that one to me?
Okay, let me take... Yeah, I'm going to give it to you. Let me take this ridiculous hat off, though.
Yeah, I would say it looks a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm giving you that one. We're giving you that one. The reason why we did that, have you seen this kind of ridiculous resurgence of Limp Bizkit in like the last year?
Nope. Considering I've never really
No.
watched or listened to him very well.
I think it's kind of funny. There's just been this like ridiculous resurgence of all of these like new and like younger generation fans that suddenly love Limp Bizkit. So yeah, we just
Interesting.
had to throw that out there for the man Fred Durst. But Adam, how's your day? What's going on, man?
It's going pretty good, you know. I've been busy. School or Clark's preschool got canceled, you know, so we had to deal with that today. So he was home with me all day because Tuesdays are my day off because we're recording a little later than we normally do, like day of the week wise. So it's a little thrown off, you know.
We are recording a little bit later than usual. And for you guys that don't know, I am in the upstate New York area. And I just want to thank Adam for dealing with my nonsense, because if you have not heard about the upstate New York area at the moment, we got about 3 feet of snow with another 3 feet coming. And I haven't had power for a couple days. So it's been a little rough. I'm not getting salty, but I'm just saying I don't really want to live here anymore.
Yeah,
so
that's why I
been
said
my
you got to
week.
come down here. You can move to the warmer Missouri and less snow, but it's really not that warm right now. It's like 13 degrees. So, but I was gonna ask, what have you been playing? But obviously, you probably haven't been playing much because of all this weather and snow and watching the Bills yesterday win. So that's good for you.
I haven't been doing much of anything. I've been reading a lot. My apartment is immaculate right now. Just yeah, lots of boring stuff. So let's talk about what you've been playing, because I'm sure it's much more exciting than what I've been doing.
Been playing a few things. I've still been playing that the VR emulator. You know, I've been playing that. My wife and I actually started Overcooked 2. Have you heard of that game where you guys are both working in the kitchen?
I've seen video clips of like couples getting in full-blown arguments over that game.
We haven't gotten there yet, but we're a good team together in the game. So that's what we've been playing like late at night. And then I've been playing Prince of Persia Lost Crown, which is my first Metroidvania game, and I am loving it. It is so fun. I love the overt. Go ahead.
Is it everything that we hoped it would be and more? Because guys, if you have not seen already, we did cover this a little bit when we got the announcement trailer, and this was a game that we were both super excited for. So hopefully it's everything that you hoped for and more.
It is. It's living up to all the expectations that we kind of discussed about. Obviously, it's different than the old Prince of Persia games. Like, they weren't Metrovanias, but I'm actually shocked that the map size is much bigger than I thought it was going to be. It's huge.
Really?
Yeah, and I get lost. I'm like, where do I go next? And like, if they didn't have the fast travel aspect, because like you have to find different fast travel points. If they didn't have those, I probably would have given up on the game, because the map is so big and I just keep getting lost. Which is it's really fun. And just like all the mechanics of the game are really fun. I think it's really well done. So we'll have a review on that hopefully within the next couple of days, because I think it's one to worth check out. So keep an eye out for that if it's not already posted by the posting of this episode.
Is it an open world or is it a linear open world? Because I know we were talking about that during the last time we covered it.
I mean, it's it's kind of open world. Like you can kind of go anywhere in this map, and like I mean, it has boundaries. Like you can't go all the like it's not a circle. Like you can go all the way to one side, and then all the way to the other side, all the way to the top, all the way to the bottom. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, like a 2D plane.
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
cool.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah, I was super like I was wondering, because we talked about it during the episode. It's like, are they going to do this open world or more of a linear, world like Dark Souls, where it's like it's big and interconnected, but it's really just paths. So yeah, I'm super excited for the review. Can't wait for it.
There's definitely like many paths of it, and then like Dark Souls, and like you find this spot where you can't enter it this way, so you have to go around and unlock it this way, and then it opens up. So it has that element to it. It's like you have to open the path from a certain direction to open the path, and then it's open both ways. But boss battles have been fun. The character design is really cool. The animation, the powers. I think this is one of my favorite games that I'm going to be reviewing as of Let's Talk Nerdy. So be ready for a high score. Yeah, I really enjoy this. I really enjoy this one so far. Yes, it's frustrating, but I'm enjoying it.
How's the fluidity? How's the combat feel?
Good. It feels good. It really does.
Feels good. Nice.
I will say sometimes the platforming feels a little like, I don't want to say nitpicky, touchy. It feels really touchy. There's aspects. So with the platforming, it's like we mentioned in the preview, it starts off really easy and then it gets very hard. Like, and then it gets so hard. Like if you make one like small mistake, it makes you start up over that whole platforming bit again. And so like, that's what's been frustrating to me. And like, there's been times where like there's a crystal, like you have to try jumping through these crystals, and if you touch it, it restarts that run at that platforming course, I guess. And like there'd be a couple times like, no, I didn't touch that, and like I thought it's like you nick it, and it's like, nope, sorry. So I think like the hitboxes on some of the platforming things is kind of wider than what it looks.
That sounds rage inducing. Hopefully you have the rage controller nearby.
No rage control. I've been doing pretty good. I will say what I had to do is when I just kept dying over and over and over and over, I stopped the recording because I was like, okay, this is just an hour and a half of me dying in the same spot over and over. It wasn't that long, but it took me a while for some aspects, but I really enjoyed the game. Yeah, it's definitely one I'm going to recommend for sure. And for $50, it's not bad. Like, you know what I mean? It's a full game for $50, and like I've already put 11 hours into the game, or over 11 hours, and I'm only 33%. So
yeah, and we're not going to give you too hard a time for stopping the recording, because full disclosure, guys, if you checked out the Lords of the Fallen Let's Play series, there's a few times that I was just recording and trying to fight the same boss for like a good 2 hours, and I was like, nah, nobody's gonna watch this. Just go ahead and stop it. And like, you put up the episode where it's like 3 runs in, and you're like, got him.
I mean, that's what I've been playing. But now we got some new games to talk about. The first Descendant on our list first.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna own up to this one, and I'm gonna say that I brought this one to the table. And that was just me primarily watching the trailer. And then the more and more that I looked into this game, I was like, this is not a game for me. So hopefully you are super excited about this game. Cause I'm not.
Yeah, as I was watching this, I was like, why is Dave interested in this game? It's a loot and shoot open world. This does not scream Dave whatsoever. But here's the thing. I think it has a lot of really cool elements and a lot of uniqueness to it. However, at its core, it's kind of a copy and paste loot and shoot. Like, there's nothing that, like, when I was reading it and doing my research, there was nothing that was blowing me away. And we can kind of get into it as we talk about what the beta people thought too, because this game has already went through beta. And to me, I just feel like it doesn't have something like groundbreaking to set it apart from a different loot and shoot game, if that makes sense.
And I 1000% agree, because we could talk about it a little bit more in depth after the trailer, but yeah, I was like, okay, so I go into it thinking like it's gonna be one thing, and then I start doing more and more research, and I'm like, okay, this is not what I thought it was. But I mean, I didn't immediately check out. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, let's see, let's see what there is going on here, right? And it's like the more and more I just kept searching and I just kept digging and like trying to find any like glimmer of like something that would make this unique, and I just was at a total loss. I just like I feel like I know everything about this game, and I can't uncover that last piece of the puzzle where I can be like, here we go, here's something like innovative or like groundbreaking, you know?
Right. And so here's the trailer. This one is the one that was shown at the Game Awards of 2023. And like right off the
Yeah.
bat, like it has like some intriguing elements to it. You look at it, it's like, oh, like what is gonna happen? Like it seems like it's gonna be a big open world, which I think it is. And then you have this cyber person or person in a cyber suit standing
And you
below
have
this massive looking like I don't even know how to describe her, just like some massive character.
like it's like a massive mech or something,
Yeah.
maybe is like probably the best way I can describe it.
Hmm.
But like, yeah, you're watching the trailer right now and it's like, you know, you see all of these people and they're kind of down in the water. If you guys are just listening on the Spotify, and you get that quintessential moment of like the gigantic boss dropping down into
Yeah.
frame, and you're like, yo, this is about to get real, because you can tell that these four people in the water are like angry. And then there's all this footage of you like skimming across the water and like jumping off rocks, and they have these weird like lasso things. And dude, there's this shot that's coming up right here,
Yeah.
if you guys are just listening on the Spotify. There's this shot where they do like the slingshot thing, and then yeah, this shot right here, the slingshot thing, and then he's up above and like shooting the gun down on this monster. And I'm just like, dude, this game is gonna be so sick. Like, look at these like badass boss battles that are happening. And then we started doing a little deep dive, and I was like, nah, brah.
Yeah, not for Dave. And I think part of it is like, unfortunately, that trailer is just like a cinematic trailer of like what they want the game to feel like. And yeah, there's some big bosses in this game, and it looks like it should be really cool. And then so I didn't play the beta, but a lot of the feedback from the beta is essentially that the leveling system is too monotonous. The game feels bland with no characteristics, which we've already kind of talked about that, and that's kind of what we're seeing. There's a sense of repetitiveness in the mission and objectives. And obviously this is just the like beta. Things can change before it's released in summer of this year. But this is what they had to say about it when they were doing through the beta. Um, the thing that there's a lot of positive to it was the gunplay of the game felt really good, especially like between different classes. So like a light machine gun felt different than like a submachine gun, like, and then a sniper and a rail gun, like those felt different. But where their complaint was with the guns is that guns within the same class didn't feel any different. So you can find this awesome gun and it just feels the same as the other SMG that you have. Like that's where they said it didn't feel different. However, like the developers come on and said like at full release, like there will be legendary weapons. So the loot you can pick up, there will be legendary, and those will have perks. And so I guess like that's pretty cool. But like to me, like watching the gameplay, watching people that have played the beta, like I did some videos of those, it just didn't seem super exciting to me, if that makes sense.
Just a little bit about the game. So if you guys don't know anything about the game, this is like Adam said, this is a loot and shoot from Nexon Games, and this is a 4-player co-op with a semi-open world. And I think I think it looks really cool. And you know, I know I talked badly about it, but I did try to find some like kind of shining light to it. So one positive thing that I think is this: I do think that this game is going to have a storyline to follow. So it's not going to be so much of just a load in, rinse and repeat. I do think that there's going to be an actual storyline to follow. Because if you go into the Steam page, I believe it is. Their description is you become a descendant, and you're given the mission to fight invaders for the survival of humankind. And if you make it to the end, you finally discover the descendant's secrets. So it feels like there's like there is like a storyline and there is a little bit of like a reason to complete this game, which I'm a big fan of. But yeah, like you said, the beta did not get a great response, and you touched on a lot of things. And another one of the things that you didn't touch on, and people were really, really kind of just like disappointed about this. And we talk about this all the time. The people that were like in the beta were saying that the world is lifeless outside of these missions. It's like they were almost saying that like if nobody initiates these missions, there's nothing in the world until you initiate the mission and have something spawn up. And I don't mean like there's not like like enemies or whatever. Like there is nothing. There's not even animals moving around. Like it's just a complete vast empty world. And we talk about this all the time. Like if you're gonna have an open world, like
You gotta fill it with stuff.
yeah, you gotta fill it with stuff. You gotta fill it with stuff. And the other thing that they were talking about is it's too easy. They felt like they were just kind of like mowing down stuff without too much. Because the way that I kind of like from the way that the people in the beta talked about it, it's like this is almost like a horde shooter where it's like you're getting waves of enemies, and they were saying that they would like mow down these enemies in just a couple seconds, and then you're just like kind of sitting there waiting like another 10 minutes 15 minutes for like other enemies to spawn, and you're like, well, this is boring.
When I first started doing my research, my initial thought when I was looking at it, I was like, wow, they got a lot of like, it seems like it's gonna be hordes of enemies all the time. And then I started watching it. It's like, no, there's not really that many enemies. And like you said, it just feels empty. And to that, like a lot of things, like the way it works is like, so with the world, there's missions that are scenario missions that are like, I think continuations of the story, and there's world missions. So like if it's anything like the Division, like the world missions is when you like come across like random like spawns of enemies that you have to stop. And so if that's kind of what that is, um and kind of going off what you thought the story is, I think you're right. Even in the beta, and like I think IGN had like the first 17 minutes, there's definitely going to be a story mode. And that's going to be, I think there's something called the Iron Hearts where they have to capture these hearts that provide power, and they almost capture one, but the villain Corel, he gets it and like becomes super powerful. So I'm guessing that's going to kind of how it goes. Um, so I think you're right on with that kind of storyline, that there will be some, and I don't know if it's in depth, but definitely gonna have a good like foundation of a story into the game. One thing that I was curious about is like from the start of the beta, you only get 3 characters to choose from, and I was like, oh, so you only get 3 characters. During the beta, there was 9 total that you could end up having towards certain. Once you reach a certain point, you can unlock more and more playable characters that will have like different abilities and stuff like that. And each character you can equip up to 3 guns and then 4 equipment accessories, and those are all going to kind of depend on your play style. So that's cool. I feel like that's a really good positive for the game, is that we'll have the ability to like play the way you want in terms of like your play style and different like abilities to have with that. So I think that's pretty cool. But overall, other than that, like it feels like it's just let's make a loot and shoot game. What do you want to call it? Loot and shoot. Like, and you know what I mean? So I don't think it has any like groundbreaking like elements of uniqueness to it. Sure, the story's unique, but other than that, like the gameplay and the feel of the game doesn't seem all that groundbreaking.
I'm right there with you, man. And like, I wanted this game to be cool because you know me, dude. Like, I am all about these epic boss fights. I love having a gigantic 60-foot boss just drop down into the arena, and it's like, it's go time. And to do that with 3 of my friends, like that would be so sick. And it's like it almost like takes it back to like old school era, like Final Fantasy, right? Like it's like it's like a 4-on-1 against this like gigantic like beast, and you're just like, dude, I want this to be so cool. Like I want this so badly to be cool, and you're just like, it's not. It's not gonna be. And it's a free to play, so eventually it's gonna go pay to win, and there's gonna be microtransactions all over the place. So it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, this is one that I think if it is free to play, I'll give it a shot. But at the same time, it's not going to be one that's going to really capture my heart, especially if there's a whole bunch of other new games coming out that I'm really more excited about. Or even like, I know it's a long time coming, but the Division 3, once that comes out, like I won't have a life, you know what I mean? So unfortunately, this isn't a game that I think I'll be playing. But other than that, I just don't think it just doesn't have a wow factor to me.
Guys, we tried. We really tried. I want to first of all apologize to Adam for bringing this to the table. Because I mean, the trailer looked cool, right? Like, I feel like
When I first saw it, I was like, oh, this is gonna be epic. It's gonna be some huge battles, and it just wasn't that. So
kudos next on games on whoever you hired to do your cinematic trailer, because you got me hyped on a game that I don't think is gonna be very good, to be honest. But yeah, so sorry guys. We talked about this one probably getting a thumbs down from the Let's Talk Nerdy crew. But you know what? I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna give this one a try because it is free to play, and I do, I love the epic boss battles. So I'm gonna get in there. I'm gonna see what it's like to do these epic boss battles with three buddies and see how it goes.
yeah, no, we love boss battles, some epic boss battles. And unfortunately, this game is not going to have the best bosses of all time. But Dave, we know the best bosses of all time.
We do indeed know the best bosses of all time. And you know what? Like we talk about all the time, me and Adam are very, very different gamers. So usually when we do these drafts, we like to have a reservoir of 10 different picks, just in case we end up with some doubles. And I'm gonna be honest, this one I only did 5 because I know
okay.
that I know that my bosses will not compare to your bosses.
All right. Draft of the best video game bosses ever. Flip the
That
coin.
was a terrible flip. That was a terrible
okay.
flip. Cut that out. Cut that out.
Cut it
Dang
out.
it. I mean, it probably doesn't matter.
It
for
really
this one.
doesn't
Go ahead.
matter with this one. But my
No.
number one boss of all time of this draft is Bowser as my first pick.
Let's go.
That was a good
Let's
pick, huh?
go. Yeah, no, that's a great pick. Any game specifically, or just throughout
Just
the
Bowser
entire course of-
franchise. I think, yeah, franchise-wise, it's kind of how I did it.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. Okay, with my very first pick, I'm gonna go to a game that y'all probably knew was coming. But yeah, I got to take my number one pick is Ishin the Sword Saint. A little Sekiro action. To this day in my gaming career, I have never felt anything like what I felt when I beat Ishin the Sword Saint. And you were there. You remember, like,
Yeah.
I was having a full-blown page attack trying to beat this boss, and like just the level of hype that I got up, I threw the control out. I was raged out. Yeah. No, that's got to Ishin Sword Saint. Got to take number one spot on my list.
Okay. My second pick is Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat. There's
Let's
nothing
go.
more frustrating to me than when I had to fight him. And almost all the games that are like when he was the boss, I don't know I think it was Mortal Kombat 9 is when he was like the main villain. Oh my gosh, I could not beat him. It probably took me like 4 or 5 hours to finally beat him. And I like I said, I love fighting games, but when I do it, I put it not the lowest difficulty, but one above. So really, I was struggling as like a noob. So that is my number 2 pick.
Shao Kahn's an OG. Do you remember when we did the I forget which episode it was, but do you remember when we did the when we watched the Mortal Kombat 2 trailer from back in the day?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember what Shao Kahn looked like in that trailer?
Yeah,
that was so funny.
Yeah, he was goofball. He was goofy looking.
Yeah, that was so funny. I don't know why that made me think of that, but I thought of that. Okay, guys, with my next pick, we are going to go back to the From Software well, and I am going to go to a little game called Bloodborne, and I got to take Father Gascoigne. That boss. That's like your first Bloodborne. It's time to get good moment. I mean, you can kind of make it through the beginning of the game, but when you get to Father Gascoigne, and you get a feel of what Bloodborne is going to be all about, and it's a pretty epic moment the first time you take him down. It's pretty sweet.
I like that one. That's a good one. All right, my third pick is the Joker from the Arkham series.
That's such a good one.
Yeah, he was so fun to be and play against, so I like that one.
That's such a good one.
Yeah, I thought that might be on
it.
your list, to be honest.
Honestly, I feel like it kind of should have been on my list if we're going to be honest.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Next pick. Guys, we're gonna dip away from Dark Souls for a minute, because I can't have a whole list of Dark Souls bosses,
No, you
or else
cannot.
no, I cannot. We can't do that. So we are gonna go to the classic franchise of my childhood, my favorite game of all time, and we got to take Ganondorf.
Ooh, yep, good one.
Any incantation, give me a little Ganon. But specifically, I think the boss fight at the end of Ocarina of Time is really, really well done.
Mhm.
You're just like you're batting back the lightning, the floor is falling out from underneath you. You finally beat that boss, and then it's like you have that scene at the end where you got to run through the time while the castle's exploding, and it's just like that whole experience back in the N64 area. You're just like, my mind is blown. What a great boss fight!
That is a good boss fight. Okay, mine is it my fourth pick? Yeah, my fourth pick is the Master Hand from Super Smash Bros.
Let's go.
That is
That's a
another
good
one
pick,
that
too.
is so hard to beat, but also one of the coolest. Like, whoa, pow, just smacks you down. It's like, haha. But no, I like that's a good boss. Very hard boss in my opinion.
Yeah, crazy hard boss. Yeah, and it's funny because it's like such a non-menacing character. You're just like, oh, look at the cute little hand, and it's like, whoop-bam.
Whoa, pow! I
Yeah.
like that one.
Yeah, that's a good pick. That's a good pick. Okay, guys, going into my fourth pick, we're gonna go to a little Dark Souls 3, and we gotta take the dancer.
Ooh, okay.
I love the dancer fight. I think it's just such a beautifully crafted fight, and
Mhm.
like the fact that you can interact with the environment, like you can set like the boss arena on fire, and just the move set, and this like whimsical kind of dance that you're kind of doing, just such a good boss fight, and so hard. It's so hard.
I think I remember you playing that one. There's another really,
Yeah,
really hard one. Okay.
yeah.
My fifth pick is kind of weird, but my fifth pick is definitely not gonna be on Dave's list, and that is Matt from Wii Sports. Yeah.
What?
You ever try boxing Matt from Wii Sports?
No.
Oh my gosh. He is
Hard.
he is so hard to beat. I mean, when I was a kid, he was so hard to beat. I
That's the OG, huh?
yeah. He's a
We
tough
we
one.
we we gotta put Matt versus Mike Tyson from Mike Tyson's Punch Out, and see
Yeah, you
who
might have
really
to.
takes the cake.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Matt,
that's a good.
he was
That's a
also
good
like
pick.
hard in tennis and stuff like that too. So like, it's not just boxing, but that's what I remember him from.
Damn you, Matt.
Yeah.
Damn you.
Yeah,
That's a good pick. All right, and then to round off the draft, there's only one place we could go, and Adam has seen me. Oh God, I don't. He's probably seen me die to this boss about 400 times, specifically when I was trying to do my SL1 run.
Yep.
But we are going to go to the Soul of Cinder from DS3, final boss DS3. 3 phases of absolute hell, and when you get that final blow on that dude, whoo, you are a changed man. That's a good
yeah,
fight.
definitely, definitely. All right, some honorable mentions that I have here. I have Hades from Hades. It's a good
That's
boss.
a good one too.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
that's a good one
have
too.
the Ender Dragon from Minecraft.
That's a good one too.
Yeah. Scarecrow from the Arkham series.
Also a good one.
Aaron Keener from the Division. I had to throw a Division on here, and then Waltz from Dying Light 2. He was such a hard boss too.
That's
Yeah.
a good one. Those are good
Yeah,
ones.
yeah, yeah.
Real quick shout out to Mother Brain from Super Metroid.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I like it.
I remember seeing that boss when I was a kid. I was like, "What is happening right now? This is so weird."
Yeah. I don't think I played that one, but I think I heard how hard that boss is.
Yeah, that's SNES era.
Yeah.
And that was back in when you were just like, "What is happening
Yeah.
right now? What is happening right now?"
Right. Okay. That's a good one. I like that draft. We got
Yeah,
some good bosses
good
in
drafts.
there. Let us know in the comments below which bosses would be on your list. I'm sure there's tons that we missed and some that Dave only picked Dark Souls -1. So, but other than that, good draft. And we're moving on to Last Sentinel. Dave, let's hear it.
I'm super excited for this game. Are you excited for this game at all?
I will admit, Dave, my notes are very scarce for this game, and I think that's for a couple of reasons. One, that it didn't like fully catch my eye, and two, I don't think there's much on this game yet. But I'm sure you can shed some light on what this game is going to be, what it's going to be about. Because I'm gonna read my notes to you, and this is all I have.
Do it.
Narrative open world action game. dystopian Japan. So that's all I got.
Let's go.
So Dave's gonna take this one over probably a bit more than me. Like, yeah, I did a little bit more research. Like, I know it's you're gonna play as this character. Yeah, that's all I got. So Dave, take it away. Do you want me to pull up the trailer
All
first?
right. Yes, let's go ahead and pull up the trailer. The thing that caught my eye again was okay, the trailer, I'll be honest, guys. If you guys are just listening on the Spotify, I'll be honest. The trailer starts really, really slow. So I could imagine that a few people kind of started watching this trailer and turned away. But basically, what we're looking at right now is these robots are trying to break in to what I believe is an orphanage. It looks like it's an orphanage. Does it look like an orphanage to you? There's like a bunch of kids in there.
Yeah, I would say so, or some type
Yeah.
of home for children.
Yeah, okay. And then basically what's happening is this robot breaks through the door, smashes this woman's head against the
Yeah.
door, which is kind of brutal. But thankfully you find out that this person is actually like a cyborg, like a humanoid.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then this is where the trailer gets good. She looks up and she's looking at this kid, and the kid is crying, and she looks at the kid and goes, "Don't worry, the demon is coming." And then
Boom.
all hell breaks.
Yeah.
All hell breaks loose, and you see the main character, and the main character comes ripping through on this motorcycle. It's wet, it's raining. She slides, she jumps off the motorcycle, she starts like blasting these robots away, like John Wick style, and then enters into the orphanage. The mask comes off. And she's like, "Come with me," and the children are safe. So there's not a lot that really takes place in this trailer other than just a very cool cinematic type of fight scene. But I think it kind of paves the way towards what type of game we're looking at. And if you look at the pan that happens at the end, you can see like a very cool interactive type of world. Type of world that really, really kind of I love that is really engaging to me. Like if I had to choose what this world was like, it's like Gotham meets Cyberpunk. Do you get that vibe?
I definitely get that vibe. And like looking at it, it's a world that I think will have a lot of elements, kind of like Cyberpunk was. It has that there's always something to look at in the world, and that's really cool. And same with Arkham. There's always something to look at in the Arkham worlds that you could play in. And I'm pretty excited about that part. So, but other than that, I just didn't think there was enough of this game out there yet for me to really have a good understanding of what it's going to be like. It almost, although watching the trailer, it almost gives you like me the feel that like she's like a Terminator, like she's a Terminator of these robots. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, guys, Adam is right. Not a lot has come out about this game, so a lot of this is speculation. But what I think is going to happen is you're going to be playing as that main character. Her name is I'm going to butcher this. I'm so sorry if I butcher this. Hiromi Shota, I believe is her name, and her nickname is the Demon. And I think what you're seeing from this trailer is that these human-like androids are, because like Adam said, this is set in the dystopian future of Tokyo, so we are far into the future. So human-like androids are kind of like the civilization, like the population, like humankind, right? Like we treat like these human-like androids as like people, so they're like the good population, and then there's these bad robots that seem to be kind of taking over. And I think like your goal as the demon is to eliminate all these robots and like protect the android humankind. I think that's going to be the basic story of the game, and I think it's going to be really, really cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. What's that new like there's a movie like that too that's recently coming out. And it's like the AI world has like taken over, but it's like this to save the world, it's this like child AI or like robot. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Oh, what's that
with
called?
the ears.
Yeah, yeah.
What's the name
blanking.
of that? Yeah, what's the name of that? I do think that it's going to be a lot like that. And spoiler alert, I'm going to throw it out there, and I'm going to say, I don't think Hiromi Shota is an android. I think she might be like one of the the last few like real people on Earth. And I think that's going to be kind of like the big wow moment. Like you're kind of assuming she's like this human like android, and then something's gonna happen into the game where it's like, oh, she's bleeding. Oh, she's like a real person. You know what I mean? And I think that's gonna be like, and I hope I don't spoil it. Again, this is just speculation, guys, so I hope I don't spoil it. But I do think that that is like a good like moment for the end of the game. I think it'd be pretty cool.
I think that you could see the scar on her face too. So like I feel like that would kind of gives it away that she's like a human. So I could see that for sure. That's a good theory. I like it. But that movie is called The Creator, by the way.
Yes, that's it. Yeah. So I do think it's going to be a lot like that. And I think this game is going to tailor to gamers like me that really enjoy like a very story driven single player experience, because I think that's 100% what we're getting in this game. I do think it's going to be an open world, but I do think it's going to be like we talk about all the time, it's not going to be an open world where you're like struggling on where to go. And I think one of the main things, and again, this is speculation just from the trailer, but I feel like the combat system in this game is gonna be so sick. Like, we talked a lot about Spine, right? And I think like it's gonna have like those features of like the gung fu, like John Wick Spine's like style of combat. Adam's face says that's not happening.
I don't know because like I feel like a lot of these open world games like this is they have to put emphasis on something, whether it's going to be the open world or it's going to be the combat. And I don't know if they'll be able to like combine it both to give us a super over the top, unique um combat system with this really unique world. Does it make sense? Like even like you look at Cyberpunk, a really unique world, not that huge uniqueness with the gunplay and the mechanics of that type of, you know what I mean, like that side of the game.
Yes, I do understand. And then also, I just want to throw this in here since we're kind of bundling all of these things together. I do think from the trailer that there's going to be vehicle traversal as well. I do think that that motorcycle is going to play a role in the game. Like that's going to be your travel system. So I do think you're going to be able to ride that motorcycle in the game. And then if you like Adam said, if you throw that on top of it, it's really, really hard for these developers to make a very complete kind of experience. Like, like you said, it's, traversal has got to be there. The combat system needs to be there. Like the open world needs to be there and full of stuff. And I think for most developers, I would be a little concerned about this. But I do think that there's a lot of hope for this game that they're going to be able to pull it off, because this game is being done by Lightspeed LA, which is headed by Steve Martin. And if you know anything about Steve Martin, he has been on projects such as GTA 5, both Red Dead Redemption games, Need for Speed Underground. Team members in this studio have worked on games like God of War, The Last of Us, Uncharted, Jedi Fallen Order. And these are all games that I feel like, for the most part, really kind of put it all together well. So I would expect that they'd be able to pull this off. I mean, I could be totally wrong. I could be totally wrong, but I do think that there's at least hope that they pull it all together.
Right. My one thing is like, if it's anything like how Cyberpunk was to start, like it was over ambitious with like how much you had to do, like in terms of like the leveling, and like it was so complicated. So if they can find a way to make it like have that Cyberpunk feel and just not overcomplicate it, make it like fluid. I think that's what this game needs to be. As long as it's fluid, it's gonna be a fun game.
I totally agree with you, and I want to throw this out here real quick. I know this is a little bit of off topic here. How do you feel about just no leveling? Like if you just go into a game and your character is your character and there's no leveling system at all, you just are the character. Like how do you feel about that?
I think it all depends on the game. A game like this, I think it would be cool to have like, I don't know, this game feels like it has to have some sort of leveling. But I mean, you look at, well, I guess even in GTA has leveling because you like get stronger the more you play. Like you can drive better, like your stats go up. I can't think of a game that has an element where you don't level up, like in a very long time.
I mean, I feel like GTA and Red Dead, you don't really level, do you?
You get like your stats go up, so like you become a better driver, or like your strength is better, your stamina goes up because you've been running for so long. But I mean, like, yeah, there's no like actual leveling, if that makes sense.
I mean, yeah, no, I totally agree. Lightspeed LA, maybe you could break the mold. Why don't you guys try to break the mold and let's put out a game that has no leveling system, and let's just see how it goes. Let's just see how it goes.
Like you said, the game does look cool. It's one that I'll definitely give a shot. It's just like I said, I didn't know there's not much on it yet. There's going to be more and more to come, but as of right now, it's still a thumbs up for me because the story like is definitely got me interested, and the feel of the game's got me interested. But yeah, at first when I first saw the trailer, you know what it reminded me a lot of too, just like the feel of it is that Detroit game.
Yeah,
Like Stay
Detroit
Human?
Become Human.
Yeah, Become Human. Yeah, that's like I was like, oh, it's gonna be like a back and forth narrative game, but it's not that at all. It's gonna be like an open world action game. And I don't know if it even has a release date. Probably a while, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be coming anytime soon, but definitely a game to put on your guys' radar if you guys are fans of single player experiences. We'll probably touch on it again. I'm excited to see an actual gameplay trailer. I think it's going to give us a much better feel of the type of the game that this is going to be. But yeah, just from the cinematic trailer, I think. I don't know, it just caught my eye. It just looked really, really cool. It looked very, very unique. You know, I love that setting. It's dark, it's rainy, it's cyberpunk. It's, you know, the motorcycle sliding across the ground. She's jumping off the motorcycle and pop, 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 and it's like just going like it's just absolute madness. And it's like this is like maybe the one of the closest things we'll get to a John Wick video game before they actually put out a John Wick video game.
That is what Dave wants in life. He wants a John Wick video game.
I want a John Wick game so bad. Keanu Reeves, on the off chance that you see this, please make it happen, bro. Please make it happen. I just want to play as you.
Yeah, especially because he's in a lot of video games. You might as well create your own about you know, as John Wick, of course. But okay, so this game is an open world game, right, Dave?
Yes.
So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna play higher or lower, guessing map sizes. Are you ready? So I'll give you a map.
So
So let's,
ready.
for example, like map A is higher or lower than map B in square miles, if that makes sense.
Square miles. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So
All right,
we're gonna
let's do
start.
this.
Yeah, starting it off. All right. So your first two options is World of Warcraft versus Witcher Wild Hunt.
Ooh.
Oh, sorry, one more thing. So, World of Warcraft is 80 square miles. So is Witcher Wild Hunt
Okay.
higher or lower?
I'm gonna go higher. Witcher was huge.
It's smaller.
Balls.
Okay.
Balls.
Witcher-
We're not off to a great start.
Witcher
We're
Wild
not off
Hunt
to a
was
great start, guys.
49 square miles. Okay.
Okay, that gives me a good base. We're gonna do better, but we're gonna
Yep.
do better now.
Okay.
Yep.
Witcher Wild Hunt at 49 square miles is higher or lower than DayZ?
Oh, it's got to be higher, right?
Witcher is higher?
Yeah,
Is that what you're
Witcher's
saying?
higher, right? Yeah.
It is smaller. DayZ is 86 square miles.
Oh my god, dude, we're doing so bad. We're doing so bad.
All right,
I'm gonna get so roasted. Okay.
DayZ at 86 square miles is higher or lower than Assassin's Creed Black Flag?
Ooh. Oh, that's tricky because of the water and stuff. L- Higher.
It is. DayZ is 86 square miles and Assassin's Creed Black Flag is 65 square miles.
Let's go.
There you
Let's
go. All right. Black Flag.
Saving it.
Yeah. You're saving it now. Black Flag is 65 square miles. Is it higher or lower than Burnout Paradise?
Ooh. I'm gonna go with lower. It's gotta be lower. A driving game needs more room.
Yeah, you're right. Burnout Paradise is 200 square miles. Good job. Good job. All right. Burnout Paradise at 200 square miles is higher or lower than Death Stranding?
I'm gonna go Burnout is higher. I feel like
That is-
200 miles is a lot.
That is incorrect. Death Stranding is 230 square miles.
What? That is insane.
Yeah.
That is
All right.
insane.
Moving on, Death Stranding 230 square miles is higher or lower than Just Cause 3 and 4?
Put together?
Well, they're the same map, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go higher. 234 miles is a lot.
That is incorrect. Just
Oh my
Cause
God.
is 395 square miles.
Boo this man. Boo this man. Oh no.
All right,
Oh,
moving on. You
no.
should get this one. Just Cause 3 and 4, 395 square miles is higher or lower than Minecraft.
Minecraft is huge. I'm gonna go Just Cause is lower.
That is correct. Minecraft is 1.5 billion square miles.
Thank God. Thank God.
Yeah, you
Thank
got that
God.
one. All right.
That was awful.
Minecraft at 1.5 billion square miles is higher or lower than Starfield?
I mean, oh no. I feel like the aspect of space is like a red herring. I'm gonna go Minecraft is bigger.
Nope. Starfield. I mean, this is where we might make some people mad or confused because this is according to Game Rant. They say Starfield is bigger because it has over 1,000 planets, and you can kind of just keep going on those planets if that makes sense. Like, because they're procedural generated, you know. Okay,
That was a trick question.
that was a trick question. I apologize. All right, last one here. Starfield at 1,000 planets is higher or lower than No Man's Sky?
Oh no. I'm gonna go Starfield is bigger because I'm still bitter on No Man's Sky.
Nope. No Man's Sky is
Oh my
higher
God.
with 255 galaxies. So that was a rough one for you, Dave.
I think I got like 20%.
Yeah, that was not the best game of that we've done so far, but it was a fun
I'm
one.
gonna
Did
get-
you like that one?
I did like it. I'm gonna get so roasted, but that was
Yeah.
a good one. That was a lot of fun.
The Minecraft Starfield one. That's I don't know what you're thinking, Game Rant, but let's see how it goes in the comments below. But other than that, these are some huge maps, very big maps.
Gigantic. 1.5 billion miles. That's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah,
That's
and
literal
honestly, I thought
insanity.
Minecraft was endless. Like you can keep going, like you just keep going to the edge. I thought that's how it worked, but I could be wrong.
Could you imagine telling a developer in the 90s that one day they would have 1.5 billion miles of space to work with?
Right? Yeah, that's insane. But other than that, we're gonna move on to our next game. Dave, I can imagine that you're not super excited about this one coming up, and that is Jack Holmes, Master of Puppets. Woo!
I'm not excited, but
Okay.
I'm curious.
Okay.
That I think that's a good way to put it. I'm curious
Yeah.
at least.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What are you excited about?
I don't know if I'm super excited about it either. It's one of those curious as well. It's there's elements that are kind of intriguing to me about this game. Overall, the game kind of looks silly and kind of reminds me of what's that twisted what game did we review? That other indie horror game. Like they had the clock towers and stuff like that. It was forgettable.
Oh yeah. The one Jared Leto's Joker meets Willy Wonka.
Yeah. What was that one called? Oh, I'm blanking. It's gonna bother me.
Oh, that's gonna bother me too. That's gonna bother me too.
Shoot. Sorry, I'm thinking. Actually, I'm pulling it up real quick. Nope. We're almost there. Oh, Twisted Tower.
That's it. Twisted Tower.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I knew. I thought it was Twisted something.
I mean, I think what's kind of doing this for me that's still piquing my interest is basically the setting. So guys, if you don't know anything about this game, basically you're playing as Eddie. You're a 12-year-old boy who goes to an amusement park with his parents, and then madness ensues.
I think you got it. I think you have the prologue. The prologue is when he's a 12-year-old boy named Eddie.
Oh, yeah. Okay. But either way, the setting is at a carnival, right?
Yep. The setting's at a carnival. So quick things about this game real quick. It's made by Tony Dev Game. It's supposed to be a first-person action or first person survival horror game. Like I said, the prologue is out now, and I think that's where Dave's getting the 12-year-old boy. Essentially, though, you're returning to this your family business after disowning his family at the age of 12. So, and then since he couldn't find a job, he's like, okay, I'm gonna come back to my family and kind of take off the family business. And I think he's like an investigator, and he's like sent to investigate different things about like what's going on. And so like yeah, he's supposed to investigate the macabre. Is that how you say that word?
I
Macabre?
believe so.
Yeah,
I feel
experiments with
macabre.
children. Yeah, macabre maybe. You're supposed to investigate the macabre experiments with children, the result of an mind unhinged by madness and family loss. So that's a description of what the game is supposed to be about. And let's go ahead and pull up the trailer so we can kind of dive into that a little bit. Here it
Let's
is.
take a look at the trailer because I do think the trailer looks really cool, and I think it's just like I kind of like this setting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think this setting has something that like just appeals to me. You know, I like the darkness and like the scariness and all that types of stuff.
Yeah. When I first saw it, though, I was like, oh man, this game looks kind of lame and anything like that. And so, but my perspective of this game, so if you're just watching, like, it's just a bunch of these, like, animatronics, like, jumping out at you, like, almost like, to me, it's got, like a PlayStation 2, like, game style. You know what I mean? Like, just, like, the character design, the way the blood splatters. That's what I kind
was
of
getting
felt when I
that.
first watched it.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
I
so
was
right now
I
you
was
see,
getting
like,
that
shooting these
vibe.
little, yeah, shooting these little teddy bears. And just explosions, some really weird like character designs. You'll get to ride the roller coasters as you see in this spot. So there's just elements of this game that are very unique to what it is. And there's tons of different like characters and things like that. And I thought that was pretty cool.
I love they did the little shout out to the Pirates of the Caribbean there.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that too where
Yeah.
they were waving.
Yeah. I mean, I think the game looks really, really cool, but I think I'm trying to figure out a way to describe this. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of like if Five Nights at Freddy's was like a first-person shooter that you could move around. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah, I can see that.
That's kind of what that's.
Isn't there a new
Go ahead.
Five Nights at Freddy's that is kind of open world where you can move around more?
I don't know. Is it?
I thought there is. And there's like a Suicide Squad, Squid Games falling through the glass floor.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
So yeah, this is just a game that just popped up, and I was like, okay, this is unique. Let's talk about it. And honestly, so like I said, the more I watched the trailers and read about this, I kind of like I wasn't impressed at first, but the more I thought about it, especially because it's a small indie developer, like the characters are actually really like cool and like I feel like thought out and like to make it feel like fitting for this game. And so that's why I thought it was really cool. The level design is really neat. And so there will be different level locations that they'll be able to go to. So the house where the kids were experimented on, an abandoned mine, amusement parks, and then each of these places will have mini games too. So I think it's like game within a game, but also like different locations, and I think that's really neat.
Yeah, I do think it's really, really cool, and I'm glad that they included these like mini games, and like you said, you can ride the roller coasters, and it's like, I don't know, I feel like might not be like a game that you're super like intense about, like spending hours upon hours in this game, but I think this is more of a game for it's like I kind of just want to chill out for like an hour and just like do something fun. I think this is gonna be that game. You know what I mean?
And I think it's just random. It's a game that like really like it's not a game that you typically play. Like you don't see this game on the market very often. So like you said, it's just something unique that you can just jump in there and be like, let's just sit down and try this for a couple hours. It's not going to be the best game I've ever played, but it's going to be different than anything I've ever played before. And a little bit into like the game mechanics. So you'll like ammunition will be scarce. You have to make sure like be aware of how much you have. Same with first aid kits. One thing that I thought that would be cool, or that I thought was cool, is like, so in this game you can't hide. Like the enemies will always be able to find you. So there's like not a spot where you can hide and like catch your breath. Like no, they're always going to be after you. So I thought that was a really cool element to this game. I think, except for probably when you're riding the rides, like they're not going to be able to get you. So maybe that's like they're enticing you to like hop on the rides just so you can like catch your breath instead of being chased the whole time. And so I thought that was really cool. There'll be different various of types of bosses and enemies. So, and we saw a couple of those. So I think it's gonna be pretty unique.
That'd be kind of funny though if like they did chase you while you were on the roller coaster. Like you're like going up the roller coaster and you see this like horde of like zombie like enemies just running up the tracks after you. That would be kind of funny.
But other than that, like this isn't a game that I think is gonna blow people away for the high quality of what this game is gonna be. I think it's gonna like just be a fun 2 hour, 3 hour game that you just try with your friends in the room. Like, hey, let's check out this game. Or if you're a streamer, you're like checking it out on stream. Like, I think that's what this game's gonna be.
For for a first person shooter, it honestly it doesn't have to be very much, you know what I mean? And it's like, they could go really crazy in depth, but every once in a while you just want to play an FPS where you just kind of like run around and blast some stuff. And I think this is going to be that game for you. Like we said, it's going to be a fun game that you can play for a couple hours. I love the setting. I think just the overnight abandoned kind of carnival setting is just like top notch. Absolutely love that. And I do think that this game is gonna have like a little bit. It is gonna have a storyline. We talk about like it's gonna be a game where you just play for a couple hours, but I mean you're gonna be doing something in this game because if you go to the Steam page, it says if you make it to the end, get ready to meet someone or something like that. So I mean, it is implying that there is gonna be a progression of storyline throughout the game. So I think there's going to be a lot more there.
And I think to the story, it's going to have a little bit more depth than probably what it looks like. I think it's going to have some elements like, whoa, I didn't see that coming, or really, this is like how this came about. Especially like trying to figure out what these like experiments on these kids were. Like, what were they doing to these kids, and why were they doing this to these kids? And maybe it's going to show like why Jack had an issue with his family back in the day. Like, I feel like it's going to have some depth to it than just a horror game.
Like you said, the prologue, you play as, 12-year-old Jack, and then you're leaving and then you're coming back. Well, it's like, well, something had to have happened to your family in that time. Something had to have happened that you're kind of like, you need to figure out. And I think that that's going to, be part of the storyline too. So I do think that this game is going to offer more than, maybe people are expecting from it. And like we said, there's, it's a really cool setting. It's a really cool, it's got a great look. It's got a great vibe to it too. So I'm actually kind of excited for it.
Yeah, I am too. It's one I'll put on my radar. It's not going to be one I like probably buy right away, but I'll look at what other people are saying about it as it comes out. But it's definitely a game that has my interest too.
Take a look at it, pop it on the wish list. I can't imagine it's going to be super, super expensive, and it could be a bigger bang for your buck than you might expect.
Good job, Tony Devs. Is that what it is? Tony Dev Games? Yeah, Tony Dev Games.
Tony Dev Games. Yeah, I love it. No, I love it. Great job. Small, we love these small studio games, and just have a couple guys make something really, really cool is great. And I wish you guys all the success. And the game looks really, really cool. Top notch on the setting. Looks dope.
All right. Well, we love horror games, right? So I think it's time to see who knows more horror games. So we're gonna do horror games we're gonna name horror games until somebody messes up.
I'm so ready for this. I'm so ready for this. Oh,
Dave knows many more horror games than I do. So let's see how this goes.
Okay. Yes, because I do know a few more horror games than Adam. I'll go first. Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. All right. Guys, this is naming horror games until one of us mess up. Adam, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go. Evil Within.
Madison.
Clock Tower.
Outlast.
Visage.
Alien Isolation.
Oh, that was on my list. Alone in the Dark.
Alan Wake.
Oh, that was on my list too. Outlast 2.
Oh, we're doing 2? Okay.
Can we do 2?
Resident Evil 1.
No, wait a second.
Yeah, you can't do Outlast. Pick something else.
No. Okay, no, we're not doing that. And I'll save you Resident Evil. We'll go Until Dawn.
Okay, Resident Evil.
I cannot believe you're gonna win this. Fatal Frame.
Does this count Dead by Daylight?
Oh, you sneaky dog! You.
Okay, we'll count it.
Yeah, we'll count it. Little Hope.
Dying Light.
Oh,
That counts. That game gets scary at night.
okay, we'll give it to you.
Yeah.
Dude, are you kidding me right now? Adam wins the horror.
Let's go.
Dude, I am salty.
You should have won that.
Today is not my day, dude. Today is not my day.
Now that you don't have going back and forth, let's name some. Let's hear some.
Okay. Silent Hill.
Okay.
Yeah, we should have done Silent Hill. Five Nights at Freddy's. We literally just talked about it.
Yeah, we could have done
Yep,
that.
that was dumb. Soma. Forgot Soma.
Okay.
Fear. I forgot Fear.
Yep.
Uh,
So many games you missed, and you would have lost me like right there. I wouldn't have got any of those after that.
yeah. If I just sat down and thought about it, I could probably think of some more too.
Yeah,
no.
that's funny. Well, good.
It's
I
heat
win.
of the-
Woohoo!
It's heat of the moment, man. It's heat of the moment. You just lose it. Oh, freaking Dead Space. I just played the remake.
Ooh,
like
Dead
not even
Space, Bioshock.
not even a couple. Bioshock, Manhunt,
Yep. Okay. We
Friday
messed
the
up. Or
13th,
Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like one of
Texas
the original ones.
Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, we messed up, or you messed up because I could have had maybe one more.
I failed you guys. I'm
It's
sorry.
okay. All right. But let us know if we missed any good ones that you should have thought we should have had. But moving on to our last game of the night, Lost Records, Bloomin' Rage. Dave, I know you're super excited about this game, aren't you?
Mildly excited. I was super excited about it, and I think I'm mildly excited.
It's just kind of gone
true-
down the more you've watched it or like researched it.
No. I mean, I think it's gonna be fine. I think it's gonna be a game that I'll probably play, but I probably won't take too seriously. But we'll explain a little bit about it. So, guys, if you guys are just listening on the Spotify, basically right now, we're seeing in this trailer, and I think the thing that caught my eye the most was that we are seeing very much a story that is taking place in the 90s. And I think that the thing that just kind of tugged at my heartstrings there a little bit was just like maybe the nostalgia of seeing all of these 90s things happening.
Yeah.
But basically what we're looking at, this game is going to be from the creators of Life is Strange, and this is going to be the next installment in the series. So this doesn't have anything to do with Life is Strange.
Yeah, it's not Life is Strange at all. It's new. It's its own thing that will have its multiple games of its own.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be the predecessor of Life is Strange. So Life is Strange is done, and now they're kind of moving into this new, Lost Records series. So it's going to have a bunch of games to it.
Oops.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I accidentally took it down when I was trying to find a different tab. That's funny.
Nice.
But yeah, so this game is going to come out this year as well. Like you said, it's made by the same people that created the Life is Strange. This is completely different than Life is Strange. And essentially, so I think it starts in the 90s, but it will turn into like present day because it's supposed to take 27 years later. So this group of 4 friends looks to be going through something together in the 90s, and then they have something happen. They're like, oh, I vowed to never talk to each other. And then something happens that causes them to come back, and they need to confront a long buried secret that made them never speak again. But now they have to go back to it and like take care of it, I guess, is kind of what the research is, what I saw and kind of what I've read.
So I think that's actually pretty cool. I mean, you pretty much nailed it. Hit the nail right on the head. The game does start in 1995, and then something happens in the summer of 1995. And I think from looking at the trailer and then looking at that, so if you guys were just listening on a Spotify, there's a scene in the trailer where they're walking through the woods all together, and it looks like they stumble upon something. But they obviously don't show you what that is in the trailer. But you just see this like kind of red glow on all of their faces, and I'm kind of wondering what that is, because you don't ever see like a red glow like that unless it's something like kind of otherworldly, right? Like they stumbled, like maybe they stumbled upon an alien thing, or maybe this is like a spiritual thing where they find like maybe some type of like ghost type of thing. So you already know I'm all about that. And then yeah, the game also take so they vow to never speak of it again. And then like you said, something happens. And 27 years later is where the rest of the game will pick up, and you're kind of you're regrouping these four friends back together and just kind of playing through the story. And if you guys have never played Life is Strange before, this is a very story driven game, a lot like Until Dawn, a lot like wow, blanking, blanking.
Life is Strange.
uh yeah, but a lot like Life is Strange. Oh, a lot like Detroit Become Human, or like Heavy Rain, or one of those games where you're kind of just playing an interactive movie and making decisions. And I think that's fine. Um, so I mean I think it's gonna be really 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 cool. The only thing that I'm kind of like weary about though, and we talk about this all the time, it's like it's really really fun to have these games where you have these choices, right? And you feel that like anxiety of when you make a choice and you're like, oh my god, should I do this? Should like what's gonna happen? What are the repercussions? And I think one of the biggest things where it's like I was excited about this game until I saw this feature. They have a rewind feature where you can make a choice, and if you don't like it, you can rewind. And I know, yeah, and I know people are just like, dude, just don't hit the rewind. But I mean, do you trust yourself? Like, do you really trust yourself? Like, you make a decision and you kill a character. Are you gonna trust yourself to be like, nah, they're dead? Or are you just gonna hit the rewind? You're just gonna hit the rewind, right? It's too
I think I'll hit
tempting.
the rewind.
It's too tempting.
I think it is definitely too tempting. That's kind of like even with that snowboarding game I used to play. What was that called? Riders Republic. They had the rewind feature, and I used it all the time. It's like, oh, you sucked. Okay, start it over. So, but yeah, I could see why that's kind of annoying because like I think that takes away an element from these type of games. Like that's like I feel like that's the point of these games. Like, oh, you screwed up, but too bad. We got to keep moving the story forward. But now if you have this like, just kidding, you didn't actually mean it, so let's rewind it. Um, Now I could see if like let's say you get 3 of those per game, like you have something happen or 1 or like 3 through the whole game, sure. But if it's like every choice, like, just kidding, rewind, or I want to see what's my other choice if I do this, rewind. Let me see what this choice is. Like I feel like that takes away a big component of these games.
Yeah, it really, really does. And it's like, I know people are probably just saying like, dude, just don't hit the rewind. And I feel like there's a bunch of gamers out there like me, and I do believe Adam, that maybe just don't have that like self-control to be like, nah, that character is dead now. It's so easy to just be like, back to life. Like,
I mean, I do that sometimes with my other games. Like something happens, like, oh, I don't want to lose that. Turn off the game. Turn off my PlayStation. Like I don't want this to happen. So, but if it's in the game, like that's. I mean, I feel like gamers like me like that do shut it off because I don't want that to happen. Maybe it just saves me from restarting my game, like my computer or my Xbox or anything like that. But other than that, I don't think that should be in the game. I think it takes away from the like, yeah, just the immersion of the game. Like to have it feel like it feels like a real effect that you picked this choice and then, nope, just kidding. Like I just feel like that takes away from the immersion of the game.
I don't know. Also, a little bit on the storyline. It's like, 1995 and then 27 years later. It's like, do you feel like this is kind of like an It scenario? Like we're playing It part 1 and part 2 together in the same game?
Maybe I had one of my questions for you was like, what do you think the story's going to be about? And that's funny that you say that. I don't know. I will say like this isn't my type of typical game that I'll play. But I'm intrigued of what the story is going to be. Like, what is bringing them back together? What separated them back in the day? I'm wondering if they actually like, killed somebody and like they got like this beam of light is like them getting caught. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it could be that. It could be. I really want to say that it just feels like it's going the supernatural route, or maybe like an otherworldly route where they find it just feels supernatural. It just feels like maybe like they found like a UFO or they found like some type of like spiritual like underdwelling or something like something crazy that they were really like we can't talk about this. Um and I really like that stuff, but now actually kind of talking to you about this, I think maybe a more I don't want to say real world situation because let's not get into that conversation of whether aliens and supernatural stuff exists. But yeah, like maybe a situation like that, like so like I know what you did last summer where something bad happens, that
Or something happened to one of them. Maybe there's actually 5 friends and, like, she, like, got trapped in this maybe like a Stranger Things situation
ooh,
where it's like this girl got,
ooh.
like, sucked into this thing and there's actually 5 of them, but they're like, we don't know what happened to Jenny." Like, Jenny just she went to the woods and disappeared. We couldn't find her, and, like, they found this pit, and they're like, "Hey, Jenny, push, like, see what's in there." Like, Jenny was the runt of the group.
Jenny's in the upside down right now, just waiting on egos, bro. Yeah, no, that could be really really cool.
There you go. So maybe that's kind of what they're doing. And maybe she gets out and like she like finds it like and then she's like or she's haunting them and like, hey, you did this to me.
Yeah, that could be really cool too.
Or like comes out and like you better come forward what you guys did, or like I'm gonna do bad things to like everything.
Or it's a straight up, I know what you did last summer, where she gets out of the pit and now she's coming after all of them. Like you left me there. Yeah, like a scream scenario or something. That would be kind of sick.
Yeah, so maybe I don't know. I don't know what this is gonna be like. But there's it's cool. And I mean this game isn't gonna probably come out for a while, so there'll be more and more popping up about it. But I just think there's a lot of ways they can go with this storyline. I just think it's gonna be they made a choice and now that choice like somebody or something like is coming back for them like, hey, you said this is what was gonna happen, but it never did, so you guys gotta take care of it. You know what I mean? Something like that.
That could be really really cool, man. Honestly, Would it would be sweet if one of those things came into fruition and we were like, "Let's talk nerdy," nailed it.
We
But
just call it, yeah,
yeah, I mean,
we guess 10 different stories, but one of them sticks. So
one of them might stick, guys, and then we'll be famous. But yeah, honestly, I think it's gonna be really really cool. And like that I love these games. I love like all the way going all the way back to Heavy Rain. I really love these story based games where you're basically like interacting with a movie, and I think that's really really cool. And it's maybe not a game for streamers to play or for playing it with groups of friends or something, but if you really just want like a good single player experience where you just kind of like sit down and immerse yourself in this world, I think people really really enjoy that still. And like we said, it's going to be from the creators of Life is Strange, so we know that they're going to do it right. Life is Strange has been wildly popular since it came out, and I think they're going to do it right. And they said that they're bringing back the core mechanics from Life is Strange. So if you do love that series, not much is going to change in the term of core mechanics. It's going to feel exactly the way that it should feel. And they did say that they revamped the dialogue mechanic a little bit to make you feel a little bit more connected to the players. So I'm curious to see how they're going to do that because I don't know how they can change the dialogue mechanic to make you feel more connected. So I don't know if that's just kind of smoke and mirrors, but I'm curious to see if they did do any kind of changes to that mechanic. But I think it's gonna be really really cool. I love these stories, and yeah, the 1990s throwback just pulled up my heartstrings a little bit. I was like, oh snap.
I like the first initial looks of it too, and like overall, like the animation of these games is really cool, and just the art style. I just think that's a really cool aspect of these games.
They always look really, really good. I mean, visually, they always look stunning. So I'm super excited for it. I was weary on like,
The rewind
what
feature.
I'm on the rewind feature. That's kind of where I was like, but
Maybe you can turn it off from the beginning of the game. Like you're doing like, do you want this option? And you can say no, like from the beginning, before you even have any like thought of going into the game. Like you don't have any like parts, like you know what I mean. Like you're not invested in it yet. So you're like, oh no, I won't need that, and you can just turn it off.
I will 100% turn it off if it's an option in the beginning. So guys, please make that happen. Make that rewind feature optional, and allow me to turn it off before I get invested and fall in love with the character, because I don't trust myself to leave them dead. if there's a rewind right there.
Well, Dave, so starts in the 90s, and you know what that means?
Indeed. I do know what that means.
We gotta pick our best characters from the 90s, and this is movies, video games, sitcoms, all that stuff, right?
That is everything. This is the best pop culture characters of the 1990s, any genre.
Draft of the best 1990s characters from anything.
That's a much better introduction. I'm glad that you redid that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's flip the coin. Dang it. Number
Let's
one,
go.
ahead.
All right, mine's almost 2000s, but my first pick of the 1990s draft is SpongeBob.
Ooh.
I love
really?
SpongeBob growing up. Yeah, 1999 is when that one came out. I had to Google it just to make sure, but it was 1999.
You just made Tommy Pickles cry, bro.
Don't shh. That one's coming up. Now don't take it.
Okay, guys, with my first overall pick, I am gonna go with Tommy Pickles. No, I'm kidding.
I was gonna punch you through the camera.
Guys, okay, with my real number one pick, I'm gonna go. Can I have two characters?
Is it a duo? Sure.
Yeah, it's a duo.
Let's go for it.
That's okay. All
Yeah,
right.
that's fair.
They're not gonna be on your list anyway. I am gonna go with my first overall pick, the one and only Beavis and Butthead. Just iconic 90s characters. Yeah, I grew up on Beavis and Butthead. I'm sorry.
I like it.
Gotta do it.
I like it. Well, with my second pick is Tommy Pickles. So you knew it was coming. You knew it was coming.
I knew it was coming. That's a great pick. Okay, guys, with my second overall pick, I will be taking another duo, and I think it's going to be okay because I don't think they're going to be on Adam's list. But I'm going to go with the one and only Snooty Booties, a little Jay and Silent Bob.
Okay, I like that one. All right, my third pick is actually going to be Will Smith from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
That's
as
a
Will
good
Smith.
one.
Yeah.
The Fresh Prince is a good one. That's a great one. I'm gonna take another duo because I don't think they're gonna be on your. Mine's gonna be all
You're
duos.
cheating today. You're like, draft of the favorite characters. Let me do 10. 10 total, so Adam can only have 5, and so I automatically win.
I'm sorry. Just allow it, bro. Just allow it.
All
It's
right,
okay.
allowing it.
All right, yeah, he's allowing it. Okay, with my third overall pick, I'm gonna go to a very, very classic movie that I love so much. We're gonna go with Lloyd and Harry from Dumb and Dumber.
Okay, yeah, I'll allow it, I suppose.
They're not gonna be on your list. It's okay.
No, they weren't, but still. All right. Well, if you're gonna do that, all right. So my fourth pick is also a duo. Then Buzz Lightyear and Woody.
Let's go. There you go.
I'm just kidding. I'm just gonna
That's
go
a
Buzz
good
Lightyear. My fourth pick is Buzz Lightyear. I don't want the duo.
I'm giving you Woody. You don't want him?
I don't want a Woody. I don't want Woody.
Tom Hanks is so sad right now.
Yeah. Nope. Just Buzz.
Okay. All right. Okay, guys. With my next pick, I am gonna go to probably one of my favorite villains of all time. And if we're talking '90s villains, you know we can't not talk about the one and only Dr. Evil.
Doctor.
$100 billion.
Yeah, I like that pick. All right. So now I'm like in a kind of a bind because I have like 6 good ones on here that I don't want to do dirty, but I also want to pick one that really means the most.
This one was hard. This was a hard draft, not gonna lie.
My 5th pick is Iron Giant. The Iron
Let's
Giant.
go.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Such a classic character.
That's a good one. Okay. I'm gonna round out my list. This is tough. I do have a lot of good ones left too. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna round out my list. This one's for you, baby bro, Pete, love you, buddy. We're gonna go with the one and only Tim Taylor. A little Tool time.
I don't know that one.
That was You don't know Tool time?
No, I don't.
Home Improvement?
Oh, like the TV show? Like we're maybe.
Yeah,
I
Home
do.
Improvement. Tim Taylor?
Is he fictional?
No, it's Tim Allen on Home Improvement.
All right. Sure, we'll go for it. I don't
You've
know
never
who it
seen
is.
Tim Allen on Home Improvement?
I know who Tim Allen is, but I don't know Home Improvement.
Oh
Is it like
no, dude!
is it a fictional show, or he actually builds stuff?
No, it's like a live action show.
I don't know it.
He's like married, and his job is he has a show Tool Time.
Oh yeah, okay,
He's
yeah,
got 3
yeah.
kids: Randy,
Yep, I remember that
Brad,
one now. Yep,
Mark.
yep,
No, I'm
yep.
old.
I know that one. I'm saying yeah. All right, some honorable mentions here. I didn't put Simba on the list as the top 5, but he was on there. I have Hey Arnold or Arnold from Hey Arnold.
That's a
Um,
good one.
Happy Gilmore and Bobby Boucher. I didn't put them on the list, or I didn't pick them, but they're such good characters. So that was a hard one.
Great characters. Yeah, great characters. I also got Wayne and Garth, a little Wayne's World. Shout out the dude from The Big Lebowski. We got Ghostface from Scream. And shout out to my first crush ever, Topanga Lawrence from A Little Boy Meets World.
Awesome. I like it. I like it. Great episode, man.
Great episode, dude. Good stuff. Good stuff. I could see you coughing a little bit in the background. How you feeling? You all right?
I was struggling today, to be honest. So that's probably why this
Yeah.
episode's a little shorter. I couldn't really get a good conversation going because I was coughing every 3 seconds, and you can hear it in my nose a little bit. I don't know if you can hear it.
I can. Yeah, no, I can hear it a little bit. Yeah, no. Shout out to Adam for making it through this episode. You're a trooper, buddy. You're a
I was
trooper.
struggling.
But,
This has been going on for like 2 weeks now. I'm sure you heard it in the last episode. But yeah, it's just like it's sitting right here, right in the nostrils, and I can't get rid of it. So
you know what? Let's wrap this episode up. You get yourself a nice hot cup of tea.
yeah,
Crawl into bed, and you get better, man. You get better.
I'm trying. But other than that, it's a good episode. I'm excited for the games coming out. Yeah, be on the lookout for our review of Prince of Persia: Lost Crown. It might be AI talking because I don't want to sound like a nasally guy, but that's okay.
It's really Adam sounding nasally, but he just says it's AI to cover his tracks. But yeah, guys, we love you guys very, very much. Be on the lookout for a lot of new things coming. We got some great stuff coming. Adam's got his Prince of Persia coming. We've got the GoldenEye Let's Play series coming up very, very soon, which I'm excited about if you want to check that one out. Yeah, love you guys very, very much. Thank you for everything. I'll keep it short and sweet so that Adam doesn't die. Adam, what you got for him?
If you're not following us on all social media platforms, please make sure to do so. Let's Talk Nerdy Podcast. Check out our website because we're going to be adding some stuff on there. That's really exciting things. But yeah, that's all I got.
Yes, check out the website. New stuff is coming. Little hint there. New stuff is coming. We love you guys very, very much. Thank you for everything, and we will see y'all on the next one.
Peace out, nerds.
Keep rolling. What?